In this video, we will learn about provider's property of root interface. This is provider's property of root interface. Let us know about the providers from the doc. A provider array to use for this root and its children. As we know that provider is used to make available services in our components or any service, or we can configure constant or any object or any other root modules to be available, or that can be injectable. When we use providers in ng module like here, and if we configure any service or constant, then we can inject them globally. In standalone application, the same can be done in application config. In application config, we can configure providers in which we can configure our services, any object or any constant. The use of providers a property of root interface is, suppose we want to configure providers only for some roots and its children, child roots. So in that case, we can use this provider. In our application, I have a root and its child roots, and I will configure providers for a root and that will be available to their child roots. One thing we should be clear here, that if we have configured providers for a specific root, then it will not be available for other roots. The providers will be available only for their child roots. So let's start. I have already created a root. Path is emp and emp detail. Emp detail is child roots and emp is the parent root. Here I have configured providers in which I have a service, an object and a constant. Object is this. This is a constant and this one is the object. So all the three I have configured using providers of a root interface. So all these items will be available for emp path and its child roots, that is emp/emp detail. And if there is any parallel path, we cannot be able to fetch emp service, imply and welcome message. We will not be able to inject them there. In imply component, we can inject imply service, imply and welcome message. Let's come to the imply component. Look here, within the constructor, I am injecting this service, welcome message. Imply component will be accessed for emp path, and in this case we will be able to access these items. Now I have another component, imply detail component, that is being loaded by load component, and we have a child root EMP detail. For EMP detail, imply detail component will open. In this component, we can also inject service or items that have been configured in providers. What we observed is that imply service, imply and welcome message can be injected in imply component and imply detail component, but not any other components, that is the part of other path. Let's run it. Okay, we are able to run it. This detail is from imply component and this detail is from imply detail component. Thank you.